not coming back, is he?
Don't give up hope.
Oh, she don't see the light that's shining.
Is that his work? What's it about?
He believes that we can travel the universe instantaneously.
So you fall to space.
More likely wrinkle it.
You must really miss him.
More than anything in the universe.
Then how about we go and find him?
Let's go! Dad was right. It really is possible.
This is my favorite planet in the entire galaxy.
There's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark.
Who are you?
We are in search of warriors.
Your father has done an extraordinary thing.
But he may be in danger.
My father's alive.
We believe he is. And the only one who can find him is you.
You're kidding.
Do I look like I'm kidding?
A little. I'm not.
Aloha! This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Oahu here in the state of Hawaii, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man. And last night, Friday night, I had the pleasure of seeing A Wrinkle in Time. So remember our rating scale? Shock and thumbs up. It's good to see. I recommend it. Shock and thumbs down. It's junk. I don't recommend it. And for A Wrinkle in Time, starring Oprah Winfrey, Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine, Storm Reed, and Mindy Kaling, it is a shock and thumbs up. Now, if you saw my Instagram, you would know that I had said that I was a little worried going into this movie. At first I was excited, and then I was a little worried. I skipped all the reviews, even though people were able to see it early, you know, like the Wednesday or Tuesday early, some people even a week early, than the opening night of Thursday and Friday. And they said that it was getting mixed reviews. But again, I am happy to say that it is a strong shock, a thumbs up, especially for young adults. Now, parents, adults may not like this so much, along with, you know, older teenagers, because there is not a significant amount of action. It is definitely no Black Panther. Although the director, Ava DuVernay, was said to, you know, have the opportunity to do Black Panther before, you know, stepping away from it, instead to do A Wrinkle in Time. You know, and I think that, you know, visually, you could look at those two movies and see how maybe in a way they would have been similar. But again, with A Wrinkle in Time, the conflict is more internalized. And I don't know how much of that was Ava DuVernay or the actual 1962 story from the novel back in 1962. Definitely, definitely it is an interesting movie. And again, it was taken from a novel back in 1962. There was a TV movie about it even, but this is the first feature-length movie. And I believe there are three books in total. Whether we'll see any more of them is all based on this weekend's box office, more than likely, and the overall take. I would be interested in catching it again, because at the very least, this reminded me of a Wizard of Oz, maybe even a Harry Potter first movie kind of story. So there's definitely more there to be had. So essentially, what does this entail, A Wrinkle in Time? I had never read the book, so I didn't know. I went into this very cold. I saw like a first couple of the trailers, and that's it. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because it was very surprising and awe-inspiring with the visuals, filmed in Utah, as you saw from some of the trailers. Again, you know, beautiful scenery, beautiful mountainscapes. You know, basically it involves, kind of like three good witches or three universal entities of light. And, being Miss What's-It, Miss Who, and Miss Witch. And Miss Witch, the most powerful, is played by Oprah Winfrey. Reese Witherspoon is Miss What's-It. And Mindy Kaling is, of course, Miss Who. And essentially they are like the three good witches from The Wizard of Oz, if there were good witches instead of three bad witches. But essentially they are very much so like that. And they are, forces of light which go out throughout the universe and seek warriors of light to defend against an encroaching evil darkness called the It. You don't really get any more backstory than that as to what the It is, how evil it is, just it's evil and that's it. That is it. And that it lives on the planet Kamazat is the planet of evil that it lives on. And essentially it goes through and it extinguishes the light. And in human beings on Earth, that light is the hope inside of us, the love that we have, basically preying upon people's fears, destroying their self-confidence, and making them doubt and hate, themselves and one another. Basically destroying all unity, cooperation, which would lead to people's kinds, advancement throughout the entire universe. And again, you can tell that this was a 60s kind of novel because it does kind of talk about all those touchy-feeling subjects, along with science fiction, the touchy-feely science fiction of the 60s, you could say. Being that we are all one, we are all made up of the stars, very much, in line with the transcendental movement, transcendental meditation at that time, kind of a graft of spiritualism, of, collection of Eastern religions and spirituality, along with, the use of science. And psychology itself was not immune to this, as that was kind of the push of transcendental psychology at that time, an offshoot of social psychology and sociology, which basically, talks about, a lot of the Eastern religions and beliefs and spirituality, strength within oneself, that we are all connected basically to the universe, and that our thoughts, affect more than just what we believe, more than just ourselves. And by positive thinking, we can change, not only ourselves, but the world. And essentially, this movie, The Wrinkle in Time, kind of encompasses all that. But again, with the science of mathematics and physics, as we are explained to what the wrinkle in time really is. Again, like I said, I had not seen or read any of the books or the other earlier TV show of this TV movie of this, so I had no idea what the wrinkle in time was. When I think of a wrinkle, I think of a disturbance, something that's not smooth, that there's some type of problem. And of course with time. So maybe I was thinking this was going to be some type of time travel, mystery, paradox, thing like that, of science fiction, which I very much like. However, what we find out is that it is A Wrinkle in Time. It talks about tesseracts. I'm no mathematician, of course, but I am familiar with, from science fiction, the use of a tesseract. And if you guys had seen the movie Dune, how they traveled through space, basically it is a folding of space. and time, so that one can travel great distances without actually moving. Basically, you don't move, the universe folds in around you so that you can be brought to a different place. Or the universe, a different place is actually brought to you through the folding of space and time. And that's essentially what a tesseract is. And that's the fundamental physics, quantum mechanics behind the powers, the spiritual powers that are manifested in this movie. Whereas there is kind of a blurring of spirituality and science, very much like quantum. Once you get into the quantum realms, I guess, Eastern religion kind of starts to look like that a little bit more, as you can pick and choose. But again, so Chris Pine is a scientist who discovers the ability to fold this space, to tesser, as in tesseract, to a different location, and he starts to explore the universe. Unfortunately, he is captured by the evil It. Why, per se, we don't exactly know, but apparently it is more than likely that he definitely, the evil doesn't want this technology, this knowledge that can bring people together with the rest of the universe to get out. That's my impressions of it. Again, the book probably goes further into it. And the three, I guess, witches or spiritual entities, Oprah Winfrey, Mindy, and Reese Witherspoon, help Chris Pine's children to come and find and rescue him. The primary person is Storm Reed, his daughter, his oldest child, and a prodigy, his young son, which goes on this journey. Actually, he and his knowledge bring forth these entities, these witches, to help them. But it is his sister who has the strength and knowledge enough to defeat the It, at least for now, and rescue their father. So essentially, that is the overall storyline. Very much very much a tale of self-discovery, a tale of quest, to rescue, something that's lost. But in addition to that, very much like The Wizard of Oz, a way to not just return home, but for the whole family to return home, with the father, Chris Pine, Storm Reed, and, his youngest son. So essentially it is that story. I know this sounds a little convoluted, and I guess that's why maybe it was mixed, because there are a lot of implications in this. And again, you are not explained why the It is doing this, other than that it's evil. And again, I'm certain that the books go further into detail, but as far as being a 2-hour movie, they did the best that they could in getting it, and the visuals and the special effects were fantastic. Again, very much reminiscent of The Wizard of Oz, where they're transported to different fascinating locations. The costuming is exquisite in this movie, and so is the acting, especially by the young children. But again, as such, it is a young adult adventure, science fiction adventure, delving into the fantastic, the fantasy aspect of it as well. So again, yes, it is a shock a thumbs up. It is a must-see on the big screen. Definitely check it out on a matinee if you have the chance, or again on the $6 on, Tuesdays at Regal, or $7 at Consolidated on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or check out the matinee. It probably would be stunning in IMAX or 3D. I saw it in 2D, and it was still a sight to see, and I'm glad that I saw it. But definitely this is a movie for your children to go see, to inspire them towards greater things, more self-discovery, more self-acceptance, and maybe a little bit of pushing into, science and math as well. But it's definitely one of those personal journeys along with a quest to save, one's rest of the family, but ultimately save oneself as well. So definitely I do recommend it. Go ahead and check it out. Remember, this is Trinidad the Island Man saying Wrinkle in Time is a shock a thumbs up. If you really want to wait for streaming, definitely go ahead and check it out, and you'll enjoy this movie. All right, thank you so much. Again, aloha.